Hi YouTubers, you're now on the Alrick Show channel. Subscribe, share with your friends and your family. We have stories to make you laugh and stories of change. Subscribe and share. Enjoy.
The Alrick Show, inspiration, motivation, one vision, hope to a new generation. Together we can live and learn. Yes, we're one family on the Alrick Show.
Welcome to the Alrick Show. Milton Campbell was one of the most wanted men in Jamaica, and today he's here with us on the Alrick Show. But Milton is now saving souls.
Yes, sir. Nice to be on.
Soul saving business now, Sir Milton, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, thank you for being here. Milton, did your life get to a point where you think that you were even afraid of your own self?
Many of times.
Yeah?
Yes, many of times.
The things you would do cause you to fear your own self?
Fear your own self. Sometimes, situation occur that you do things where you least expect you would have done in your life. That means, say for instance, you are around a group of people, but you would have think these people are loyal people to a cause. And at the same time you realize these are the same ones that assassinating you. These are the same ones that setting up your life.
So, if someone is around you back then and you recognize that they are not loyal to you, no, you would ensure that they are taken care of.
Sometimes...
Is that a right way to put it?
It is a right way to put it. It's correct.
Wow. I'm sure, Milton, that you didn't set out your life to go the way that, everything happened. How did you end up there?
Well, it all started out as a young man. Void, lack of knowledge. Scared, grew up in this economical community. Didn't have a role model. Didn't have someone to look up to as a father figure. When you grew up with a single parent, with just your mother taking care of everything, life can be very, very stressful.
How stressful was life for you?
Well, think back on me growing up as a youth in a community where violence all around.
Yeah.
Everywhere you look is violence. Just what's happening around you make you become a person that naturally you might not think that you would have become that person, but sometimes your association, people that you associate with, so friends sometimes can lead you astray.
Wow. So being a part of a gang, help me to understand. I plan on joining a gang. What are some of the things I'm expected to do? What are some of the rules I'm expected to follow?
Every gang have different rules.
Yeah. What are some of the rules that you had to work with?
Well,
loyalty was a big factor, yeah?
it is.
Ah.
And it can cost not your life, but also your family members' life as well. So your mother, your father, your sister, your brothers, and all your relatives become a factor.
Wow. How difficult things got for you? How do you remember your first time doing that big wrong? How do you remember that?
My first time my first time involved in something that wrong, I think I was probably about the age of 15. Oh. And this is how you want to prove your loyalty.
You have to prove it.
To your gang or to your affiliate.
What are some of the things that you had to do as a 15-year-old?
Well, I don't do a lot of robberies. A lot of things that are remorseful growing up and understand what life is. Realize a lot of people have been hurt on my way up in life.
But your mother, was she aware of what you were doing?
No, my mom at no time My mom know what I was doing.
How did you keep that away from your mother? Because you lived with your mother.
Yes,
How
because
did you keep that away from her?
my
Milton?
mom is a very strict person, and she always ensure of me doing the right things.
Right. So probably your mother could have been one of those mothers who would probably come and say Milton is innocent.
Correct. Most the parents does.
Milton, during those years, at no point at all did you stop to think what you're doing is wrong. You must have had some consciousness, some conscience there, sticking at you to say, stop
You know
this.
what? I think like when I was 16 or 17, when I become wanted by the law.
At 16 years old?
Yeah, 16, 17 years old, I become wanted by the law. So I'm running, living in hills and valleys.
Your mother still don't know yet?
No, at that time,
She started to realize,
yes, she become aware of what going on because I can't stay around the house as I used to.
Right. So you're not just running from the police, but you're running away from other gangs too?
Yes, I'm running away from other gangs.
What's that kind of life like? Having to look over your shoulder every single day of your life. You can't go to a football match just like that.
No, I mean, your life become in this turmoil situation. It's like you in this ant's nest, something keep on beating you at all times. Because at every single moment you would have to be looking over your shoulder.
But you saw a lot of lives being lost right before you. You would see some of your friends, I'm sure, being shot. Other gang members being shot as well. And so you had no fear for your very own life?
No, I mean, alcohol and drugs. Like, see, I never do any drugs but marijuana and probably liquor, alcohol. Things like that, some of us become alcoholic to cope with your problems.
We're going to talk more. We talk more to Milton Campbell about his life as one of the most wanted men in Jamaica when we come back from this break.
Alrick Show.
Welcome back to the Alrick Show. We're talking with Milton Campbell. He was a gang leader and one of the most feared men in Jamaica. Milton, I want to understand. I want to get into your mind. When you were planning to do a wrong, planning to maybe rob somebody, maybe shoot somebody. Because I always try to wonder when you sit and you meditate on it and you're on your way to take action, isn't there a time within all of that something is saying, don't do this, it is wrong. You sit and you plan this.
It's always a time, it's two forces that work. Always that works. You always have the good and you always have the evil.
Why the evil took over the bad in so many instances?
Well, it's something I always ask myself.
Yeah. So you had these moments where you questioned yourself.
A lot of time I does. But then things that happening around me and things that happening so fast. I mean, I've seen so many of my friends passed away, so many of them being incarcerated. And I realized that the system is not, it's unjust. Injustice for the poor class of people. I've seen people have, of high standard do the same crime and get away with it.
And you would have interacted with a lot of these people
with a whole bunch of them. I would have seen people that make the laws break the laws.
And you would have helped them to break the law too?
Some of them.
Interesting. Describe for me a moment when you're planning something. You're planning to maybe shoot somebody. You're planning to rob somebody. Describe that planning moment for me. What's happening inside your head? The turmoil you're going through, if any. What's that moment like?
Dark, cold, lonely, desperate young man searching for something that he can never find. It's always a ego that you're trying to fulfill the need of this ego. is like a high. You can never get that same high. Like, I remember my first time, you know, it shot somebody. I felt like I got away with it. I felt like I was, you know, untouchable. I just want to do it and do it again. And not until I got shot, I realized that all what I was doing is the work of the devil.
Oh, Milton, when you're carrying out an act, I don't know if you've had the situation where you're about to shoot somebody and they are pleading with you, they are begging you, spare my life. Have you had a moment like that?
Not real.
You don't give them a chance to talk to you.
Never had a moment like that.
When you do something like that and you go home, what do you think about?
Most of my crime that I did involving gunplay, most of my crime is when I was in the state. I mean, it started from Jamaica, but most of it when I'm in the state. And it's different because you selling drugs and then you realize it is an artless and ruthless game.
Wow. So you left Jamaica and you went to live in the US.
Correct.
Right. What was that life like? Were you making a lot of money and living the big life?
Yes, it's a life that every youth dreamed of.
Yeah.
Drive fancy car, maybe have 2-3 girls at once, popping champagne, doing the things that you dreamed of doing. But it's just a happiness for a moment because nothing lasts forever but salvation.
You had a best friend and you guys were traveling one evening. What happened?
Yeah, okay. This is the turning point of my life. I mean, my best friend. We had this drug deal that one night we decided we were going to sell some drugs. We went to sell these drugs and the deal went bad. I mean, the person that we went to sell the drugs, they tried to rob us.
Oh.
But you can't rob the robber. That's just how dude in the street, it's just how we look at it.
So you're always prepared for an encounter?
Yes, you're always prepared for an encounter. So what happened, they tried to rob our drugs. We was prepared. They have guns, we have guns. Everybody draw their guns. And I don't know, maybe just one person squeeze and then it's just explosion everywhere.
Your friend died?
My friend got shot in the nose, eye. I think he got a shot in his leg, he died. I got shot in my nose, my eye, and my shoulder. But for some reason, God kept me alive.
Did you feel as if you wanted to die at any point?
There was one point I felt like I really want to die, when I was being incarcerated. After I'd been shot, I got 35 years. The judge gave me 2 15 years and 1 5 years, but all run concurrently. So now I feel like I've been shot by white people, and now not only that, I've been persecuted by white people, and I'm in prison being ill-treated by white people. So my heart was like this concrete wall waxing so cold like ice. You know, there were times when the place so cold and they turn on the AC and you got so cold you felt like, you know, you're not a human being. It's so inhumane treatment.
So you weren't feeling cold just physically, but
nah,
spiritually.
Exactly. There was an emptiness within inside. Because now I'm starting to look at my life, the thing that I have done up to that moment in my life.
We take a break. When we come back, we talk more with Milton about life in prison and the turning point that has led him to be the man that he is today.
Alrick Show.
Welcome back to the show. On set, we have Minister Milton Campbell, former gang leader and one of the most wanted men on the island. Minister Campbell, it is.
Yes.
Before we get to that total transformation, take me back to being incarcerated in the U.S., right? You were given 35 years.
Correct.
How would you describe those moments for you, reflecting on all that you have done? Was it a haunting experience for you?
It was a haunting experience, and it was an experience that got me real close to God.
Describe it.
There was a time when you look up to people around you that you associate, that become so close, y'all form this bond together. And then you realize when trouble comes, there is no one around you. Everyone shunned you. Everyone gone from around.
So all that you have done in your lifetime was now coming back at you, because now that you're incarcerated, there's nobody to turn
So
to.
now
Your girlfriend left,
Exactly.
family members left.
There was no one but God. There was one elder told me, listen, you got shot. I mean, there's no way on earth you can get shot in the head twice.
How
and
many
be
shots?
the same.
How many shots you got again?
I got shot 3 times, but I got shot in my head twice. Shot my nose and shot my eyes.
And the bullet passed through and
Yeah,
lodged?
the bullet
Or
went
one
straight in my nose. Any rest of my C1 vertebrae. Yeah, I just coughed that bullet out. That's how God is.
Hold on. You just coughed a bullet out?
Yeah.
How many years that bullet was lodged in? Where? Where it was lodged?
On my C1 vertebrae, that means it's on the top of my spinal cord.
So how many years that bullet would be lodged there?
Almost 15, 16 years.
What did doctors say if they removed it?
It's a possibility I've been crippled or I bled to death.
So you okay. So you're telling me now that you coughed up that bullet recently?
Yes, coughed up the bullet.
Where's that bullet?
Got it right here in my top pocket. So this would be the bullet that I coughed up. Well, from the fragment of the bullet, it looked like a 38 special bullet. That's what the officer said I got shot with anyway, a 38 special.
When you coughed up this bullet, after being told by doctors that you might be crippled if it's even removed, how did you feel in that moment?
Wow, word can't explain. You know the funniest thing about it? The Lord didn't let me cough it up when I was alone. I coughed it up with 2 witnesses, right in front of two people.
How did you find Christ and now being a minister? What
Now,
happened?
before I came back, I was doing this test, this college test, this religious and theology test in prison. But this is how I felt God when I know God real. I mean, I got shot and the doctor told me that it wasn't them that saved me. It have to be a higher being to where I got shot. But after I've been incarcerated, been locked up, been in this 9x6 cell, so I'm asking God, I said, Father, if you real, show me a sign that you real. I mean, deep sleep came upon me. I fell asleep. Then I felt like something shake me. I jump up out my sleep. There was nobody in that cell but me. I mean, I never been so scared in my whole life. I literally felt something shake me. And when I get up, there was no one. Then the thoughts came back to my mind.
That you asked God for a
That
sign.
I asked God for a sign.
When did you get baptized?
You know, I got baptized in 2016. This is how I get focused with God. And it's so funny that, I mean, brown guy. I mean, dark-skinned guy like myself. I love brown-skinned girls.
Yeah.
I mean, I love a brown-skinned lady. I came home, there was this brown-skinned girl. I mean, she's so amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My heart just goes out for this girl. The funniest thing, this day when this girl decided that she gonna give me the time of her life, she decided she gonna sleep with me.
Yes.
So I'm like, when you out in the world, we said we hyping up. You know what I mean? We getting ready, we booting up. So I don't get my weed, and I don't get my JB, I don't roll my blunt. And then a voice said, put down the cup. I never forgot. I put down my weed, and I put down my cup. Voice said, put on your shoes. I put on my shoes. I don't know where I'm going. I'm not leading myself.
You're just following the Spirit.
Just following the Spirit. Coming down, I see a tent. There's a lot of people. The Spirit tell me, get off the taxi cab. I stop the taxi cab. I get off the cab. I find myself walk all the way up to the altar, telling the pastor I want to get baptized. But on that night, it was the night for children baptism. It was not adult night. It was a Wednesday night. So they were telling me to come back the weekend because it's a Seventh-day Adventist crusade. They didn't know it was a Seventh-day Adventist church. But I remember telling the pastor that whatever I do from this moment on out,
It's on him?
it's on him. So I guess the pastor that I was speaking to at that time wasn't the one over the crusade. So he went and called the evangelist, which would name Cheyenne O'Connor.
Yeah.
And when that person came, it was like, baptize that young man. Because it was like a light, a glow coming off my face at that time. I don't even know how to express it.
But the light of God was upon you.
And then when I got saved, my mother was in the audience. The girl I was supposed to sleep with that night was in the audience. A couple of my aunt was in the audience. I was like,
You had no idea that they were there?
I had no idea they was there. I had no idea that the girl that I was supposed to sleep with was going to the tent. Then when she came back, we was going to sleep together. I had no idea that she was there.
What do you tell yourself now daily? How do you feel? Do you feel dark like how you used to feel at 17 years old?
I mean, a lot of time I think back about a lot of things I done did in my past. I feel remorseful about it.
Have you reached out to anybody that you know you might have hurt their family?
Plenty of
and
people I done did.
you ask for forgiveness?
Plenty of people I don't reach out. But now I tell you this. I strive for spiritual purity daily, positive progressions, and every levels of life. And only those that strive for the same thing are the one that I embrace wholeheartedly. Do the works of God. Now I got a book coming out, The Journey of My Life. Not only am I a minister, I do mentorship programs. I go in school. And all the mentees, I do mentor programs to them. I tell them about life. I tell them about my life. Maybe the story of my life can change someone else's life.
Minister Campbell, thank you very much. You're sweating like Jesus in the garden when he was praying. I see you're passionate about it. Thank you so very much for sharing with us. We want to thank Minister Milton Campbell for sharing with us today on the Alrick Show. A life-changing experience, and we trust that it will help to guide you on a better path. I'm Alrick Mackenzie. The Alrick Show will be back next week.
Alrick Show.